moments. We just need somebody with courage to do what they have to do, because everyone knows it's wrong. We need somebody with courage, somebody that makes decisions. And we'll be going up to the Supreme Court very shortly.
Analyst Mark Meirowitz. Thank you, Mark, for joining us on the program. It's always great to have you. Now, Trump is clearly not backing down here, and we see his supporters come out every single time to accompany him during his rallies. But how much support does Trump really have from the Republican Party to continue his fight to overturn the election results?
I don't think this is the game plan. The game plan is a long game plan to the next election. To be able to maintain his connection to his base. This is what he needs to do, and raise money. He's already raised money, millions of dollars, for this legal defense fund, which he can use for future campaigns if he wants to run for president again in 2024. Right now, there are a lot of key things that are happening that I think are important. First of all, he wants to try to have the state legislatures overturn the electoral votes in the states. That is not likely to happen. He tried to do it in Georgia and Michigan. That's not successful. He's trying to go to court to overturn the elections. He's not successful there. In fact, his own attorneys have not stated in court that there was fraud, and a number of the law firms have withdrawn. So that hasn't happened. On December 14th, the electors are going to vote. On January 6th, the joint session of Congress is going to confirm the election. But the day before that is the runoff that you've been focusing on. And by the way, if that's a close election, believe it or not, that's going to be contested, and it's also going to be called a fraud because it's Georgia. So they're setting you up in a way for the idea that Georgia is a fraudulent state. In actuality, the Georgia state government has been planning for years to re-up and do better in technological ability to run an election, and all of their officials have said this is not valid. So I think this is a setup, in a sense, with the possibility there'll be a close election in January with the Senate runoff, which is absolutely pivotal for the Senate to be held by the Republicans.
Do you think the Senate elections,
is a long game.
Right? Do you think the Senate elections is one of the reasons that Trump held this rally?
His main reason for the rally is to hold the base. And if you listen to the rally, which I did, a lot of it is about that he that this whole election is a fraud, to argue that he really got elected, which is completely, it's extraordinary, but it's to keep the base, to keep this kind of magic. He's almost like an Elmer Gantry, was a figure in American literature, a preacher that comes and preaches and holds his audience. He's got this audience, but he's got to hold them. I think his long game, in my humble opinion, I'll tell you my game plan for him. My game plan for him is, of course, he loses this election. He's going to fight it, even maybe in the joint session in January. The January 5th election will be contested, and in 2024, he's going to run as a third-party candidate. I predict to destroy the Republican Party, which happened in 1912 with Teddy Roosevelt, where he ran as a bull moose party when he didn't get the Republican nomination, and then Wilson won as a Democrat. This is because he's very angry with the Republican Party. The Republican Party didn't stick by him 100%, didn't stick by him in terms of his claims of election fraud. He has a long game here. He clearly realizes he cannot win this election legally. He talks about going to the Supreme Court, but the Supreme Court has the right not to take these cases. How does he get to the Supreme Court if all the other courts are not accepting his claims? He doesn't get to the Supreme Court. What he's trying to do is upend the system and really kind of massage the system in a way, or bend it to his will. And as we've seen, the American political system has survived. And it reminds me, if I made a Ben Franklin statement in the Constitutional Convention, when someone asked him, what are you doing with the Constitution? He said, we're making a republic if you can keep it. So we need to keep the republic, and the way we keep it is by following our institutions and not listening to claims about fraud and everything is wrong and everything is broken, and let our institutions decide that. The courts, the governmental leaders, and so far, the courts, even Republican-appointed judges have rejected all these claims. So that's not his game. I cannot believe he's quite pragmatic. He's looking forward. He's
Right.
hoping to control the Senate because I think he wants to get credit for that. He wants to hold his base together. And I really believe he's going to create an America First Party or do something like that because there is a big part of the Republican Party that does not buy into this, all of this fraudulent talk,
Right.
because people like Romney and Rubio and others want to run, Romney particularly, wants to run for president in 2024. So they're not going to allow this is going to go forward, I don't think. So there's a lot of levers and a lot of things going on at the same time. But
All
I
right.
think the long game, not the short game.
All right, Mark Meirowitz, thank you so much for that analysis and joining us here on Tier 2 World.